Okay. I believe I'm. Oh, I did not mute you guys. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. I just wanted to hop on real quick and do a quick live because I have a room that I'm supposed to be hosting a seminar in, and there's nobody at my seminar, which is okay with me. Really, I just wanted to try to do an in-person version of the seminar that I am offering at 7 p.m. this evening. That's in about 90 minutes. If you guys signed up for it, I am so excited to see you. If you did not sign up for it, first things first, I want to apologize because hi TV, I'm so glad you're here because y'all, I've been doing the runaround with my website, and Google Workspace has just been like an absolute cluster cluck. Faster cluck. That's my new favorite word. It's been a faster cluck. And so if you tried to send me an email, it's not working. Info at soulschoolspiritual.com is dead. And so I told you guys if you wanted to attend to shoot me a message there. If you did that, I apologize. The message is somewhere lost in the ether. But since I have this room, what I wanted to do today was come on and talk to you guys about some of the collective energies. Right now, my last live that I did was super scattered. I know if you guys saw it, that's what you saw. You probably was like, man, I don't know what this girl is up to, but I hope she's okay. The reason I'm going to talk is because, oh my gosh, I am somebody who every now and then, like information about solar flares and stuff like that comes into my consciousness. And I usually don't pay too much attention. Like my mentality is I'm not going to let that dictate how I'm going to feel today. But I've been feeling it like all week long. And so I've been kind of just like meditating on the stuff that I've been going through. And I do think there's a big, big, big collective energy there that is coming in with the sun, because the sun is an exceptionally, look at that card fly out, exceptionally masculine energy, right? And we carry that within us, the masculine and the feminine energies. And the message that I've been receiving is for some of us. Basically, the message I got is that what I'm going through internally is essentially a message for the collective. So the transmutation that I'm going through is one that maybe in sharing my experiences and a channeled message that's coming through today, I can kind of help the collective to get through that. And so let me go ahead and share my experience. I have been really, really frustrated with men. I'm just going to be honest. Whenever that happens, I really believe, and you guys, I'm so sorry about the lighting scenario in here. It is not ideal in any way, shape, or form. There, that might be better. Hey, right? We're all in this together, right? We each carry the masculine and the feminine within us. And so this lesson that I learned a long time ago that I almost forgot was that when we're angry at the masculine collective, we're really angry at our own inner masculine and the ways in which it has failed us. And specifically, I'm talking about ways in which we're not listening to our own inner voice. We're not honoring our own truth and our own inner voice. And another way in which that can happen is that we are not properly enforcing our own boundaries, right? Because that is the function of the inner feminine. I've been coming, because you guys know how it is in the podcast scene these days. Men sitting around talking about what's wrong with women. I've actually seen a couple where men will sit around and talk about what's wrong with men, and how there's this genuine failure. Thank you, Will Smith, for pointing it out. Like, say what you want about his methods, but just about men protecting women, men standing up and protecting women so they can do the work that they are here to do. A big part of the work that we are here to do is to bring in the essence of being, meaning that the work that we're meant to do is not, in fact, to do. That's the sun's job. That's the masculine's job. The moon's job is to be, and to be a reflection. All right. So if you're going through something in your life where you're just pissed at men, this is an opportunity to look at the way in which your own inner masculine is, how you're using that to protect your feminine energy. So what flew out? Spirit Fox. Trust your talents in changing times. And do you see how he has that solar, that sun symbol? this light. Next time I'll bring my own if I ever come back. He's got like a little sun symbol right on his chest. And maybe you guys, there you go. Okay. Let's listen to what it is saying. Ooh, and then that third eye is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely. So it is sort of about allowing that inner masculine to protect our heart as much as we can so that it can remain open to others. This thing going on right here, this little structure above the third eye, to me, that represents the femininity being expressed. Okay, let's see what else. I got a couple other decks. And I got like 30 minutes. I don't have to rush too much. Ooh, I love this one. The White Witch. You guys, was I not talking about the feminine is the moon? The feminine is the moon. This is really what's needed in the collective. And I do want to talk a moment about the idea of the masculine and feminine, because if you've ever studied alchemy, hermeticism, finding the balance between doing and being is so tricky. And the thing is, we live in a society that depends on our doing, right? Nobody gets paid for just being. Nobody gets paid for just being. So that's part of our challenge, is how do we survive in a world that doesn't prioritize what the feminine is here to do. But this says be the light, and this is interesting. I feel like I need to listen to what it's really trying to talk to us about. That is right. Okay, so what this is saying is, like I was saying before, this be the light is about shining the light, being the sun for a moment, right? And then this moon, what does the moon do? It reflects the light. If you think about it, you guys, there's no such thing as moonlight. There's only sunlight that is being reflected by the moon. That's what we do. We are a mirror to the doers of the world. Okay. So when this says White Witch, I'm going to tell you guys, I have had to, not had to, had the opportunity to go ahead and break out my witchcraft this week in order to create the boundaries around me that I have needed in order to be able to do my work, in order to just like heal, in order to be there for others. It's so problematic, but we got it figured out. Okay. Redefining productivity, right? Be the light and take note of intuitive messages. So this is really tricky. Oh, but that makes sense. Oh my God. Okay, you guys, the message just came through. These changing times is essentially the collective shift in frequency. If you guys have been watching Santero, she has been on it. I did not see this Scorpio reading that she just put out either today or yesterday. But there has been basically her last few collective, or her last few readings, I have interpreted as a sign that whatever energy it is that's out there that's kind of like creating this energetic force field trying to keep us from our ascension, like that is fading away. There's a dramatic shift in the vibration of the planet going on right now, and our poor little human bodies are, that's why it's been so hard for us this week, is to be able to reflect and absorb these energies, right? But what this card is trying to show me with the solar plex, the sun over the heart, and this structure of the third eye is about the integration of the masculine and the feminine, understanding that damsel in distress days are over. If you're tied to a railroad track, like that's your job to get yourself untied, right? And so the ability to be able to go back and forth between those two energies is very, very, very important. To both be the light and be the reflector of the light, that is a lot right now. That is a lot right now. And I have to tell you, this is my slow clap for all of the men out there that are doing the healing work, that are learning how to be, that are learning to talk to one another and support one another through the inner work that is necessary for the healing. And so I just want to give you guys all like a great big group hug. I got some more decks in my bag. I'm digging around. What wants to come out? Let's do that one. This is the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. It's not tarot, but it is an oracle deck. These are my archetypes. So let's look at the type of energy that we want to bring forth in ourselves as we are working on strengthening the power of the divine feminine. And then next up, I'll ask about the masculine within. Hi, Marley's Tarot. I'm so glad you're here. I'm really happy to be able to go live with you guys, though. I am looking for places that I can do this pretty regularly because my jungle connection, not the internet connection. I need to be doing this. All right, let's look at the energy that we can bring forth in ourselves as when we are standing in our feminine energy. So this is for males, females, non-binary people of the world. This is interesting. Yay, Marley. You know what? I say do it. Do it. And if it doesn't turn out the way you want, you can switch it to private later on. Definitely, like, the best way for us to stop being uncomfortable is to just go ahead and step outside of that comfort zone and just, like, what's the worst that could happen? In fact, we're training ourselves out of that vocabulary and saying what's the best that can happen. You guys, this is what came up. Oh, oh, I get it. I get it. This is what came up when I asked, what energy should we be stepping into as when we are in our feminine side? Okay. And I got the Horse King, which is an exceptionally masculine energy. In fact, it is talking about assistance and control. This dude has, like, man, this is crazy. You see how white that horse is and the light that's shining on it? It's almost like this is the moon, right? Here we are in our masculine, and this is the feminine, okay? And so it is about learning how to say no to constantly giving, okay? Learn how to say no to constantly giving. And this is something that is an aspect of society that has conditioned us as females that our number one job is to give to others. All right. The more you step into understanding how exceptionally powerful it is that you have, hi, Ariel, that you have the ability to reflect the light, right? You can be a mirror to people. And you guys, sometimes you don't have to do anything at all. Sometimes just saying no is the mirror that people need. Sometimes enforcing your boundaries is the trigger that's going to teach somebody else about the importance of those boundaries, okay? They really want me to talk about the resources of the earth, okay? And I'll go ahead and talk about that. Let's do that. Okay. I'm in the Riviera Maya, you guys, and Sargasso season. Sargasso is that seaweed that, like, comes up and it's all over the beach and it really kind of smells bad. And so there's a lot of people that are just really grumpy because Sargasso season has come early. Like, it's April and the entire Riviera Maya is just, every single beach is full of Sargasso. Last night, the same boundary speech. Yeah, Ariel, we're so, like, resonant frequency right here. And so, anyways, yesterday what I did is I really needed to ground myself. I need to get my body. I need to find my center. I need to get connected. So I went out and I sat on the rocks and I watched the ocean. And what was really cool is I could see these huge patches of Sargasso just coming in over the waves. And as I was sitting there meditating, I was like, oh, this is Mother Earth's boundary. Okay. And a lot of people are like, no, this isn't normal. There's been way more Sargasso lately. It's going on across the globe. Like, what is it that's happening? And it's linked to things like the use of pollution, deforestation, stuff like that. Okay. But Sargasso is so necessary for marine life, right? Yes, Gaia is the mirror to us when it comes to our own femininity. The sun is our mirror when it comes to the masculine energy. That is definitely what I've been getting. But that's what I realized. Like, the same way that, like, everybody went on lockdown. Do you remember in 2020, a couple months into quarantine, people started posting, talking about things like you could see Mount Kenya from Nairobi. There had been so much smog. Nobody in that city has been able to see that mountaintop in decades, right? um, because of the smog. We started to see animal patterns changing. And basically, that's what happened when human activity just chilled out. When masculine centered doing just chilled out, it had to be pulled back, and the earth was allowed to flourish and just be, right? And the message is we shouldn't have to have some sort of crisis or catastrophe before our boundaries can be enforced. Oh my God. She's like talking directly to us, ladies. It feels like embodying and integrating the latest upgrades and lessons. That's what the sun has been up to. That's what the sun has been up to. Absolutely. Because, like, the solar flare has been crazy this week. Yeah. So that's really, really beautiful that that came in. Okay. That the Sargasso is just saying, hey, get the F off my beaches for a second. I need to chill. Okay. Because really, like, there's been so much destruction of natural resources, just development and everything down in this area, because and it's all over the planet. Because while a lot of us were social distancing and staying in our homes and trying to figure out what is the new reality that we're going to build for ourselves, there are other people getting to work snatching up the land. Hawaii, Costa Rica, not Costa Rica, Puerto Rico. My apologies. It's happening all over the place. It's happening all over the place, okay? So it's almost like the sun has been injecting us with this masculine energy that we can use on ourselves to protect our feminine energies, all right? So the horse king, assistance control. I'm really curious to see what's going to come out now that I asked. We are linking to Gaia more consciously and we can feel the weight of her distress. That is it. And see, when we shift from third into fourth density, there are so many veils that just disintegrate. And the idea that we are not, in fact, the planet Earth, man, the fact that like there's a veil between us and the earth that is being lifted so that we can actually experience Gaia consciousness in a really powerful way. Here's the card the spirit is asking us to embody within ourselves when we are working as the masculine within. Oh my God. Healing the inner child. This is the camel boy asking for help. We got 33, which is 6, and 42, which is 6. This 6 is a very, very powerful energy. Camel boy is about small steps. It's about asking for help. He's playing an instrument, and instruments, musical instruments to me are about creative expression. This is, you guys, we just took 20 minutes to pull these cards out to say, like, just the channel message that was coming in at the beginning. The feminine energies in all of us are learning these boundaries. The masculine energies in all of us are learning to ask for help, to listen to the help that our inner child is speaking out for, calling out for. But also, I'm seeing this men like congratulating each other on therapy, men sharing with each other healing modalities, right? Men hyping each other up, men hyping up the feminine. Mm. I feel like that's it. You guys, listen to this. Listen to this revelation that I had. Oh my God. I'm just beside myself with the way that the spirit has orchestrated this exact message throughout the day. Okay. And throughout the past couple days. So, certain things appear on our planet as a reflection of what we are capable of. Okay. So think about the internet. We didn't have the internet 100 years ago, right? We have the internet now. And what is it? It's almost like this ethereal realm that we can all tap into and share information across, right? That is a metaphor for the way in which we can tap into this the consciousness of the earth and communicate with nature spirits, Gaia herself, all of the just the spirit and the energy that exists in this realm, telepathy, all that sort of stuff. Okay. So it's like the internet in mundane society is a metaphor for this other completely cool esoteric truth. All right. So Let's talk about non-binaryism. Hmm. Because I was just thinking today, isn't it really cool? Like all the different ways in which femininity can express itself and all the different ways in which masculinity can express itself, and then all the ways in which people are expressing themselves as a combination of those two things. That's a metaphor for our collective integration of the inner masculine and feminine energies. So thank you, non-binary people, transgendered people, for being a model of the energies that are available to us at the time. Ariel's like, I got this same download. And I tell you what, it's just like we're tapped into the internet. Like we have access to a Wi-Fi network that we can access in meditation. You do that enough, and then you won't need to go into meditation to do it. Okay. And it's amazing. Um, Experience at the beach. I made a TikTok about it. About like on my way to the beach, I had gotten a message because I had just been really feeling cut off from my guides. I had gotten a message that there was going to be an animal guide for me when I got to the beach. Blackbird. It was a blackbird. I followed that blackbird. Where did it lead me? Exactly to the place where I was going. So I went ahead and I interpreted that message as keep going in the direction that you're going, because that's exactly where the guidance is taking you, right? So when we begin to question our intuition, when we begin to question whether or not we can trust our intuition, because to me, mm, okay, they want me to talk about, go back to the fact that the sun is the only true light. Moonlight is only a reflection of sunlight. And that's just it. The world that we're living in here, it's like we are beginning to see more and more that our mundane world, our current events, stuff like that, is only a reflection of the true light. And that's the way that we've always seen the world, is in moonlight. And you can say, oh, I know this is just a reflection of the higher truth, but it's almost like we're training our eyes to be able to look directly at the sun. So that when we look at the 3D world around us, the mundane world around us, what we're seeing is not the reflection, but we're seeing the truth itself. We will be able to speak to them and work with them. Yeah. Animal guides are, oh, that's cool. Look at that. Ariel, were you here when I pulled this out? The fox has been here for a minute. That's okay. I'm going to definitely upload this so you can see this. TB. So TB, I believe that you were here when we pulled out this fox. That's really cool. And this white witch energy, like I'm telling you guys, more I was calling on Morrigan this week. If you guys are not familiar, that's going to be, because listen, Morrigan, that's a goddess that embodies a beautiful balance of the masculine and the feminine. We can now, just based on our own ability. Yeah. So the comment was, it's something, it's like they came in and they installed Google Fiber in our internet, but we got to figure out how to get online. That's what's going on right now. But also the Morrigan is a really beautiful symbol for this, I believe, because she is the goddess of sovereignty. How do we enforce sovereignty? We speak our voice, our truth, and nobody else's. Because some of us have been going around like mimicking, parroting other people's stories about who we are, about what reality is, right? So that's one way to enforce sovereignty. Okay. Okay. My seminar that I'm getting ready to do at 7. By the way, if you guys want to join it, just go ahead. Soul School, TANDA. I'm gonna just put it right here because my other email is dead right now. Okay, soulschooltnday@gmail.com. All right. If you guys want a video of that seminar or just the Zoom link, go ahead and send me that. And I'm going to start it basically like in an hour and 13 minutes. Okay. But so This is a chakra seminar, and we have masculine chakras and we have feminine chakras and we have gender neutral chakras. So the root, heart, crown, gender neutral. All right. Sacral, third eye, feminine. Solar and throat, masculine. That's what we're being asked to call in our voice, but also our boundaries are tied to our solar plexus, what you will and will not do, but also what you will and will not accept. So I'm going to have to get out of here in a minute, but I want to share with you a fact. Like, I often go back to just the biological sex cells when I talk about the masculine and the feminine, right? The masculine is obviously the little swimmers, and the feminine is the egg, okay? And the way that we're told that story is the egg just sits there and like the swimmers are like fighting for each other, and then they get there and they get to the egg, right? They're competing, they're aggressive, they're assertive, they get there and they get to the egg. You may not know this, but the egg can just be like, nope, I'm not letting you in. And that is an example of the boundaries that can be enforced by the divine feminine. We choose what we will and will not accept. Okay. So using our voice, enforcing our boundaries, call upon the Morgan sovereignty, 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 making sure that you are the king of your and queen of your inner, or non-binary monarch of your inner castle. Natural selection. Yeah, there's definitely some natural selection in there, but at the same time, I feel like I'm not that I'm just going to go ahead and criticize the theory of natural selection, but sometimes I have to stop and pull back and say, do I need to question the narrative that I've been taught by my public school science education, right? So, yeah, there is some natural selection, because it's really about, like, where it's a quantum universe, you guys. It's about frequency. If something does not resonate with you, you do not have to allow it in. I don't think we're ever going to get to where we don't observe the darkness in the world, but we definitely have a choice about whether or not we're going to entertain it. Okay. Yeah, and hey, Ariel, shoot me an email. She was saying, if my kids get home at that time, I'm not sure if I can make it to the seminar. So definitely shoot me an email, and I can at the very least get you a copy of the video. I'll send you a link of the video afterwards. And then because really what I'm doing this for is just get back into my teaching ways. Been a long time since my teaching days, but also to ask you guys for some feedback, okay? So, does anybody want to pop out a question, comment, or concern real quick? There is, I mean, I pay for the full hour, but at the same time, there's a movie that gets played at 6, which is in about 10 minutes. Okay. We kept it under 30 minutes. I really feel like that was an awesome live. Thank you guys for being here for me when I do not have it together. And thanks for being here when I do. I feel like today is a have it together day, and I'm happy to happy to be able to share that with you. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much just for being a part of the Soul School family. I really appreciate it more than you guys know. All right. Okay, dokie. So I'm going to end my stream, and go ahead and soul school, TANDA at gmail.com if you guys want to get into that, or if you just want to say, hey, put me on a list and let me know when you're doing these seminars again in the future. I've got lots. You guys, there's one on toxic femininity that we're going to do, because a lot of us have been impacted by it throughout our lifetimes. So, and if dudes are out there addressing toxic masculinity, let's do our work and look at the aspects of femininity that sometimes can be expressed in a very toxic way. So I love you all. All right. Be well and be you. That's so what is needed in the world right now. All right. Take care.